Welcome everyone to Digital E-commerce Podcast. I'm your host Kenneth Lam, and I'm excited to have you guys join us today. And if you're passionate about e-commerce, digital marketing, or just want to stay ahead of a curve in the online marketplace, then you're in the right place. I'm so excited today with you that today we have Selman from Profit Cyclops joining us today. He's here to talk about optimizing anything about Amazon when it comes to the cash flow or profit and loss. Salman, how are you today?
Hey Dylan, I'm doing fine. I hope everything is also going fine with you. Thank you for hosting me today.
Yeah. I'm currently in Birmingham. It's raining cats and dogs right now. I mean, the rain is just horrible. And where do you base again?
I'm based in Southern California, around the LA area.
I love that. There's beaches everywhere, I think. Right.
Yeah,
Okay.
long beaches, always sunny, living the
Uh,
dream.
Sounds great. In the UK, most of the beach is stone beach, it's not sand beach as well. So don't even bother coming to the UK. Trust me. Okay. Salman, would you mind to tell us about Profit Cyclops? What's it about?
Yeah, so as an Amazon software, I think our story begins the same way as most of the other people. We started selling on Amazon around 2013. And then back in the days, we started with only $1,000. We scaled to 8 figures during our sales before we sold off our brands. So it was a long journey where we learned about everything. We were like, when we sold our brands, we were selling in all of the marketplaces, including EU and Canada and Mexico. So when we started scaling, we realized the Excel sheets were too hard because you had to calculate your inventory all the time. You couldn't see all the metrics, and we needed something and something fast because the optimization is what helps you scale. So then we started on what's working on right now, what we call Profit Cyclops. After we stopped selling on Amazon as a seller, and we sold off the brands, we said, okay, now we have the software, so let's focus on that and let's help the people use the software and let them also scale. So that's what we've been doing for the last 3 years. We have been really helpful to a lot of sellers, and we answer a lot of questions, and we help them navigate the journey that we did.
Right. And so before you started Cyclops, what did you guys do before?
Before Amazon,
Yeah, I mean, are you guys an Amazon seller or?
before we were Amazon sellers, I used to be an attorney, and my partner used to be a computer engineer. That
Right.
was the early days of Amazon. Back then, you didn't even have the Amazon ads, so you just had to, and most of the listings were brand new. So we created most of the listings that are probably still selling right now. So we were the ones that creating those because it was all just brand new.
Right. 1 second. I might need to restart the. Oh, I think. Yeah, it's fine. I thought it's not recording. It's recording right now. Okay. So Salman, tell me about like why did you started Profit Cyclops? If we are talking about in terms of like sellers views, what are the most challenge that you're seeing that your software can help solving?
So we still join all the events with Amazon, and we set up a booth for Profit Cyclops. What I see with the current Amazon sellers is still nobody knows the profit. Like when you're selling on Amazon, everybody knows the revenue, everybody knows how much they spend on the ads, but nobody goes to the trouble of taking out all the small fees Amazon takes from you. And sometimes, and most of the times, people are not even aware of all the fees that they're being charged, and they don't know their true profit. So I think that's the biggest thing that I'm seeing in the market right now. People don't know their profit. They guess they're making a profit because they look at their bank accounts and they try to do Excel sheets. But even the best company that I've seen that are doing Excel sheets, they are way behind in using a software like this because they can only do it like once a month as a report. But when you have something like Profit Cyclops, you have it every single day, every hour under your hand, and you can actually see what products are making profit and what products are losing money. And that's what I've seen as the biggest thing to scale on Amazon right now. Because it's not like the early days. You have to be really technical. You have to be really knowing what you're doing. And if you're being charged fees that you don't know, you're probably going to lose money in the long run because you have to know what you're being charged. You have to know what's the most valuable product, what's the most profitable product, and you have to invest in that because even the biggest seller right now, everybody's inventory and everybody's funds are limited. So you have to use your resources to the product that's going to be the most profitable. And that's what we do. We help people scale. We help people know what they're making profit on, and we help them drop to products that are losing money that they don't even know about.
Your internet, because my internet is doing fine.
Really? Because I
Yeah,
saw
yeah.
you.
I was hearing the whole thing. I was like speaking the whole time. Anyway, let's continue. Let me know if you cannot hear me. We'll just voice out and then we'll drop it. Okay. Anyway, so I was asking, like, do you think this such problem happen in Amazon seller in general, or does it happen to in overall e-commerce?
So I think the same with all e-commerce, but some markets tend to be easier on calculating the fees. So what I've seen, Shopify, Etsy, those marketplaces, you can easily calculate the profit. You still need to merge it with your current sales on Amazon. So you still need a tool, but those marketplaces tend to be easier. But once you get into fulfillment, like Walmart and Amazon, it tends to get a lot harder to calculate what you're being charged. And as the marketplace becomes bigger, like Walmart and Amazon, the fees that they charge also differ. Especially Amazon is a professional in this. The fees they charge, the way that they hide it, and the way that they don't present it, or sometimes they present you values that are not actually true, and they like you to see the big numbers. So Amazon is the most professional in this one. But we support Walmart, we support Amazon, we support eBay, Shopify, and we also are just about to support TikTok. So you need to see a bird's eye view on all of your sales. And in today's market, most of the Amazon sellers are trying to get into the other marketplaces, which is, I think, is a really smart strategy because the products that you're already carrying is just going to get you additional revenue, additional profit. And even though the revenue is going to be less in the other marketplaces, your profitability is probably going to be higher than Amazon. So we recommend selling in multiple channels, and we see this as a problem. As I come to your question, we see this as a problem with the big sellers as well as the small sellers, like especially the ones that are just getting into business. They are not aware of how many fees Amazon can charge you, but the bigger players, those players usually have a blindness to products that are losing money. They know how to make revenue, they know how to sell, but they're not calculating everything because by then they usually have a lot of SKUs and they're not giving that thought sequence to every single SKU. They don't realize how much time it spends in the warehouse. They don't realize the refunds. They don't realize the adjustments, the chargebacks, all of those. You need that. That's why with the big sellers, what we do is we try to show them the money losing products. And we also show them, okay, these products have more potential. You should invest in those. But the small sellers, it's usually just knowing what goes to where, and that helps them a lot on just finding products that are profitable.
Right. What do you think sellers the most overseas detail that is not being seen by just using our Excel sheet that we cannot able to find out?
Yeah, we're just getting into the last quarter, the Christmas sales. So this is the example that I give to a lot of sellers. In the US, it's much worse than the EU marketplace. EU marketplace raises their storage fees, but the US raises them much, much more. So as we get into the last quarter, the storage fees are gonna triple, quadruple for a lot of people. But the thing is, the storage fee, okay, that we're gonna incur next month is gonna be settled the month after that on the 15th. So as you're selling the next month on October, you're going to be charged the last quarter storage fees, but you're not going to realize how much you're being charged until you're into mid-November. So that's a problem that we solve and that you're not able to solve with anything else, because if you wait until the mid-November and then by the time that you put these into Excel sheets, it's going to be probably end of November, you're already incurring 2 months of the last quarter storage fees. What we do is we know how much the storage fees are going to increase. We know how much inventory you have in the warehouses. So we do that algorithm and we estimate the fee that you're going to be charged in the last quarter. So you know already from the beginning of October what fees you're going to be charged for that Christmas, and then you can take early action. You might choose to liquidate your products earlier, market earlier, or do something else, or just hold on for a little more weeks until you send your products off to Amazon. That's a really big thing that a lot of the sellers miss. They only see what they're being charged, and they usually only know the profitability in Christmas after the Christmas season is over. So I think that's really bad way of doing business. You have to know your profit the moment you're making the sale. So I think that's going to be the biggest thing I could say for the next quarter, the storage
Right.
fees.
Yeah. Trust me, I've got hit by storage fee in the past, and I do in the past, like back in when I first start selling on the internet, like in the first 1 and 2 years, I'm just using Excel sheet, right? Back in the days, like long-term storage fee is just 365 days. They calculate every 365 days. Nowadays they do faster, of course, but then it's just all of a sudden, like I just forgot there's stock in the US, and then we just got hit that huge storage fee in all of a sudden, and then that was around $3,000. No, that was in Japan. Yeah. It was like in Japan, there's so much stock there that we thought we expand because we expand so fast during the first 3 years, and then we send stock to Japan. We even forget there's stock in Japan, and then 3,000 US dollar in yen. I mean, that is just horrible. We're not even profiting in Japan during that time. So what are the measures that you have there for sellers to remind that they have to deal with the storage fee, or did you have any measures there to remind sellers that?
So this year, we already have another fee that was introduced, which is the placement fee. When you're shipping to Amazon, it makes you choose if you want to send it to just one location, 3 location, or Amazon optimized 5 locations. That is also a big hit we're seeing with our customers. We see our customers' profitability drop by 15, 20, 30% just by that placement fee. That is also really important because that only settles when that shipment closes. So also you're shipping product, but you don't know what that's going to cost you until like 2 months down the road, probably when that shipment closes. So we also show you that really clearly. So that's, I think, also a big thing that was interesting.
How about the out of stock fee as well? Did you guys have anything about that?
The low inventory fee.
I mean, if you get out of stock, Amazon is start charging you.
Yeah, that was also introduced just recently. We just created a report just for our customers, showing you what products are going to be hit with that low inventory fee and how much you're being charged. That's also another thing. We have a tool for inventory planning, which is going to help you with how many stocks that you want to send. That's also a big thing now. We see that, first thing, knowing your profitability. The second thing in Amazon is keeping in stock. So that's the most problem, because if you have too much stock, then you're going to be charged a lot of short-term fees, long-term fees. But then if you're low in stock, then you're going to be charged the low inventory fees. So we have an inventory planning tool. I can show you later then, which is going to be showing you how many products that you have to ship, how many products you have sold in the last 15 days, 30 days, and 60 days. So then we estimate how many products you need to ship now, considering also the lead time that you have, so that you're always in stock in Amazon, but you never overstock.
That's good. That is definitely helpful when it comes to handling all the storage fee. But there's still a lot of fee. Like me as a seller point of views, I would just do a quick fire round, and then you can just help me out, maybe figuring out as to like what are your measures, because I use different software or ERP obviously, but I just want to know if your software have those kind of capability as well. So when it comes to, we as in the Chinese seller, we have multiple account, right? And then those account comes with different maybe they share the same ASIN. Like, what are your measures for handling those kind of like ASINs?
So our inventory planning tool can group everything by ASIN, child ASIN, or the SKU. So you're able to see your inventory planning based on those. And that grouping is also important because that's also something usually missing with a lot of the Excel sheets that people keep. And most of the software that I see, they don't group things by the ASIN or they don't group them by the parent ASIN, but then your data is really off, especially that people that are doing reselling, they create a SKU for every product they ship. So they're usually in the blind because they don't have a tool that groups these. I think that's really important because you want to be seeing everything in a group. So if that ASIN has a lot of child SKUs that you create for every shipment, then you want to see how much that ASIN is selling. And then you want to see, because the storage fees that are being charged, it might be by the SKU, but then you want to see again, how much storage fee am I paying for that ASIN? How much advertising am I paying for that ASIN? Not just the individual SKUs, because the individual SKUs actually don't mean anything on the ASIN level. So I think that's also really important because you show your profit by the ASIN level also, and then you can drop by and you can see how many SKUs, how many you have left, and how many you have sold in each SKUs on that ASIN. If that's okay, let me share my screen and show you some of the screens.
Yes, of course, yeah.
So let me show you. So we allow you to connect a lot of the stores. So if you're selling in multiple stores, you're able to connect the stores through here, and then you can just select which store that you want to sell. If you're selling in multiple marketplaces, this is where it's going to show you. So you can select the US, the Japan, like Germany, or see them in like a global view. As you go down, this is going to show you everything monthly. So every time you sit in front of your computer, you want to be able to see this, which is your revenue, your cost of goods, your refund costs, your fulfillment, and you're able to expand and see the individual costs. If you do your own shipping from your own warehouse, we have an integration with ShipStation and Vico. We take those and you see the advertising fees, and then you see the profit, and then you're able to see how much it goes up and down. And this is also the same thing, but daily. So when you come here, you sit in front of your computer. Today, I'm able to see by this time today, compared to yesterday, I'm down 2% in terms of revenue, but the profitability is up 76%. Obviously, since it's 9 a.m. in the morning for Pacific time for me, as we go down the road, it's probably going to get closer to this, but then you're still able to see how much it goes up and down. Let me go to the P&L. Yeah.
I'm just wondering, like, the time frame, like what time do you guys take the report from Amazon in order to calculate?
Yeah, so it's based on the time zone. If it's the US time zone, Amazon goes by the Pacific, so the Californian time zone. If it's UK has just one time zone. You know, we go by the marketplace's time zone, this one.
So is it like on Tuesday you're trying to report on a Monday data, or is it Tuesday you report a Tuesday data?
So it's Friday morning for me, and this is showing me the Friday morning data. So
How accurate
is it?
Is it going to be changing like tomorrow, because the data is always changing, and then like in the announcement?
The data is always changing. You can see that we got the sales data 24 minutes ago, and this is the demo. When you're having a live account, it's usually every 5 minutes we get the new data. So you're able to see how fresh the data is. Since this is the demo, it doesn't get updated much. And this is the inventory turnout. This is also a really important feature. So you have products at Amazon, and a lot of the times when we speak with the sellers, we tell them, are you profitable? And they say, yeah, I have this revenue, I have this much product. And they think they are investing their profit back into the business, and all of their resources are just in inventory. Then we ask them how much inventory you have, and that question usually goes unanswered because they don't know. So we show you have $153,000 of inventory. When you sell this, you're going to make $500,000, and the total payout to your bank account is going to be $374,000, and this is going to be your profit. This is if you sold everything today at the current price with no marketing. So this is what you're going to be making. If you make additional marketing, of course, the profitability is going to drop, but this is actually at least giving you an idea. If you sell everything today, what you're going to make.
Mm-hmm. How about advertising? Like, how are you guys reporting advertising fee? Is it just one big fee that you guys have? Do you break down into different S-band?
Yeah, we break it down everything. So you have seen the dashboard. This is the P&L report. This is like an accounting P&L report. You can select the last quarter. You can select the last 12 months. I usually go by the last 12 months. And then you can see everything broken down. So this is going to be your income, which is going to be sales, which is going to be the refund income. And you're going to be able to see this is what you were refunded. This was taken out as a referral fee. And you also see your refund percentage, which is going to be 1.75% in this one. What percentage of your returns were sellable? And then you're going to be able to also see how much you made when you liquidated your items, how much you got from the reimbursements for the warehouse damage, for the lost manual. And then you see the advertising expenses. So these are the expenses that we break down. So you got your sponsored product, your sponsored display, sponsored brand, sponsored video, and the promotions and the coupons that you give. So these are just account level. We're going to be able to see these also by the ASIN level and the other reports, but this P&L is going to be only showing you account level. As you go down, then also you're going to be able to see your profit. You can also add your manual expenses. A lot of the people like to do, like your rent, your employee cost, or any fixed cost that you have. You can also add these, which is going to show you your profit margin, which is a healthy 29% in this demo account. As you go down less than 20% on the profit margin, it's going to be tricky to do business. The least we recommend is 15%. If you have a less than 15% profit margin, you're doing something wrong. You have to change it, because then you're going to be losing money in the long run, because there are things that come up now and then, which is going to make you lose money. That's a too narrow profit margin. Let me show you the same advertising fees on the product level. So like I showed you, you can base this by ASIN SKU or parent ASIN. Now I'm going to do it by parent ASIN. As you click on these, you can expand and see the child ASINs and also the child SKUs in here. So let's look at this. You see the revenue, you see how much you spend on the promotion, how much you spend on the returns, the referral fees, the fulfillment, and then you're going to be seeing, as this parent ASIN, we have 54% profit margin, and then you can also look at the ASINs and see this one is negative 156%. This one is definitely losing money. This is your revenue, but the cost is too much, so you're probably just liquidating this because you're just selling this at a too low price. And then this program is actually, showing this to you really easily. And these are the exact figures. We just compile these from hundreds of different fees. So doing this by Excel sheet is, I think, virtually impossible. So this is how we do it. Like this is, you just scroll down and it's so easy. You see the product picture, you see the name, you see how much you sold it for, and now you see you're making a loss at this product, which is really bad for you.
How about the tacos, break-even ACOS and tacos as well? Like, were you able to know, like, say, if I want us, like our advertising teams, your break-even ACOS is this, like, are we able to see it in here? Because I assume I have to put in my the cost at all the purchase cost, which is like the cost of sales, right, inside the platform, in order for you to let us to know what's the profit margin as well.
Yeah, this is a great report. This report was actually requested by one of our biggest sellers. They have, I think, $150 million of sales a year. So this is a report that's going to be showing you your PPC cost, how much sales you made from those PPC, what's the organic percentage, what's the total sales from that, your cost per click, your click-through rate, your ACOS percentage, and your total ACOS, which is the most important figure. Because as you do advertising, sometimes you lose money on the advertising side. But when you look at the tacos, if it's making money, then you can still scale with your advertising.
Okay.
So this is a really good report. It's going to show you everything. It's going to show you the change percentages on these values. So then you can look at your break-even ACOS, and you can look at your tacos. And like 13% is a really good ACOS. If it goes up beyond 20%, it's going to be really high for you. And a good tacos percentage is going to be like 5 and 10% is going to be a good tacos percentage. So these products, as we go down, these are probably going to be starting, these are probably going to be losing money, because 38% is a really high ACOS. But depends on your product. I have seen people that have a really high profit margin and a high ACOS percentage. Depends on your product. So some products can compete with high ACOS, but most of the products don't. Yeah.
Okay.
So
Okay. I think that's enough of the screen sharing. I think for our audience views, like maybe we can
yeah.
talk about what do you think the top three things that they should track. I mean, sorry, what they should track on weekly, monthly, and daily basis as an Amazon seller.
So weekly, you have to obviously track your sales, your profit, and your advertising. Once you go to monthly, then you're going to be looking at the placement fees, then you're going to be looking at the long-term and short-term storage fees. You're going to be looking at the reimbursements if you're getting any. And I want to just remind you, the reimbursement timelines are going from 18 months down to 2 months. So back then you were able to claim until October, you were able to claim 18 months back of what reimbursements you had. So let's say Amazon lost one of your pallets. Amazon gave an adjustment to the customer, but they didn't give it back to you, or they lost or damaged one of your items in the warehouse. You were able to claim 18 months back. But now they're dropping that time to 2 months, which is going to be really hard for a lot of the sellers to claim on themselves because 2 months is a really short period. By the time your shipment is closed, you only have a few days to claim it. So that's going to be really hard for a lot of the sellers. We also give a reimbursement service. I recommend that. We have teams that just claim this by the day so that you don't lose anything. So on the monthly side, reimbursement is one of the big things, and the fees. So the P&L report that I showed you is going to be really useful on the monthly side because that's where you want to see and go into detail once every month and go into detail of what's costing you money and what you have to stop doing, or if there's anything that you don't realize that you're being charged.
Right. In the past, like we did that as well, and then like we have like received a complaint from, I mean, a plan of action from Amazon saying that like we are manipulating them, because back in the days, like we have this like either we keep sending letter or using hidden intent to keep sending letter, and that triggers a account red flag, and then Amazon just sends us a POA. But does your software help us do that as well?
I couldn't understand. Like, what was the problem?
The problem is like they're saying that we're abusing the system, saying that like we're trying to create something that doesn't exist, and then that's why our account gets get a red flag from the policy violation.
Oh, like I haven't seen any similar problems with our users so far, but
Right.
I hope that is resolved because I'm no,
Right.
we don't ever see those kind of policy violations in
Yeah. Okay.
anything that we do.
Okay. So yeah, I like the thing that you just mentioned, the monthly, the weekly. Can you tell, if you have to choose one thing that would impact sellers the most, what metrics or what kind of analysis that you think we should do?
Well, I think that let me tell you two. I think two that you have to look out for is, as we talked about, the short-term storage fee for Christmas season
Mhm.
and the placement fee. Those are the two biggest metrics affecting sellers right now. I would look out for those two.
Can you tell me about the latter one?
The placement fee.
Yeah, yeah.
The placement fee is, as we talked about, when you are shipping to Amazon, and if you split to one shipment or three shipments or five shipments, if you want to do one shipment, Amazon charges you a placement fee. If you do the five shipments, then you have to ship your products all around the US, especially in the US. This doesn't exist in the EU. You have to ship all around the US, which is going to cost you a lot in the logistics and the transportation. So that's the biggest thing, because I see most sellers getting charged a couple of thousands of dollars. The bigger sellers are being charged $50, $100, $80,000 just for the placement fee. So I would recommend looking out for the placement fee.
That is terrible. I mean, Amazon we just charge you without mercy backing you the money back.
Yeah, and
And
it's really hard because if you do the split shipment and you're not that big of a seller and you're trying to ship by pallets to make it cheaper because UPS is obviously going to be really expensive. You feel like that seller in like not the too big but not the too small range, that's going to be the most effective, because one shipment, like I'm in California, I have a friend that has to ship one shipment to Florida, one to Virginia, one to Texas, the other one is in California, and one to Phoenix, Arizona. So the shipments that are going to Virginia and Florida is more than the cost of the product. So if you're only shipping one or two pallets down to Florida from California, it is costing you a lot. But if you do the one placement and Amazon is doing all that shipment for you, then it also costs you a lot. So they have no way out. It's a really bad scenario for a lot of people.
Yeah. God. Even though, like, I mean, if they lost the shipment as well, we heard counter story about like it's not just about the placement fee. There's also like if you lost the shipment, and then you won't be able to get back the money, and then you're just forever like in a loop that arguing with Amazon, and then they were saying that like it's not gonna be able to reimburse us until like 100 days later. So one of the advice what I have right now is to send the shipment as early as possible in order to enter into the mess that
I recommend the reimbursement service, because even though people can try to claim the reimbursements on by themselves, when you have a team behind it, we know all the details and how to open up cases to Amazon, because you get so many examples and so many solutions, and you know how to write on what cases. So, and you write it in time, and you support the documentation on what they're sticking with. So I recommend using a reimbursement service. That's probably going to increase what you're getting back from Amazon. And some customers like to do they like to claim some of them, and then for the ones that they couldn't claim, they like to use a reimbursement service. I recommend it, because the time zones are going down to 2 months. If you don't have a reimbursement service, you're probably going to lose a lot of money. And even though you're thinking you're probably claiming it yourself, or you're going to be able to do it, I do see most of the customers can't claim as much as a reimbursement service can.
Right. And I think that if you're selling on Amazon, I don't think you should spending time on claiming the thing yourself, because you have a lot of things to do.
Yeah.
And also like dealing with Amazon sales support, you have a bunch of things to want to deal with. Like you want to change this keyword, you want to investigate why the keyword is not there. Let the backend handled by someone else. I think that's the most probable advice that we can provide Vegeta or with a partner that can do that. Anyway, I think that wraps up another episode of the insightful podcast from Digital E-commerce. And I just want to say thank you, Selman, for helping us to understand what's most important for a seller to monitor. And if people want to find you, where should they go and contact you?
Yeah, thank you so much, Dylan. Thank you for hosting us. I think this has been really good talk with you. If they go to profitcyclops.com, that could be the best way. They could check out a demo. We have a demo that they can just click and see demo account. If they want to contact me, it's really simple, selman.akinci@profitcyclops.com. So they could also like to email me. Probably not hard to find me. They could find me on LinkedIn. They could email me. So hope they, anybody that wants to contact me, ask questions, feel free to do so. And we join a lot of the shows. We're going to be next month in October in Amazon Innovate in New York. They could come there. We're going to be in Prosper. We're going to be in the Proven Show. So any show that's in the US, we're probably going to be there. I would love them to show up and have a conversation with me.
There you go, guys. I'll make sure that I put that into the show notes. So, guys, the world of e-commerce is ever evolving, and if you want to stay ahead and you want to stay ahead of e-commerce and take action on what you've learned today, and position your business for success in this dynamic landscape, especially for Amazon. The policies is just changing forever, right? I hope you guys enjoyed the episode, and I will speak to you next time. Thank you.
Thank you.